DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, it's Monday, and Monday is often a day where I do a tag or two. As we all know, Jasmine's been very busy, it seems, lately, so I've been doing just Dave's tag. So, Dave's Saturday tag, the 7-question one. Yes, sir. So, let's see. Dave's tag with his 7 questions. What are they tonight for me? Question 1. Okay, let's go. Let's start. What is the life-changing moment that made your life better? There's a lot of things that one could say. I think the one that I'll call make our life better was when, with Mrs. DC, we decided to stay in Switzerland. We came over from Canada to England first, then went from England to Switzerland, and we're here 2 years at the time when we decided to stay. Why did we decide to stay? We were not finding a stable job in Canada. I was finding like temporary contracts, a 5-year contract, stuff like that. And in the field I was, it wasn't looking very good at the time. And frankly, we didn't want to end up having 5-year jobs and have to start everything over and never have a stable condition. We wanted to start a family. And we were offered a situation here. And that actually made a big difference in our life. Mrs. DC was able to, even around in her late 40s, to start a new career, stuff like that. Things that would have been very complicated actually in Canada. Anyway, let's leave it at that. Okay, question 2. How do you deal with difficult people? I guess it depends on which people which are difficult. And I mean in that respect is that sometimes you have a difficult person that is of no consequence. You can just basically have it be no consequence. It might be a salesperson. It might be an acquaintance that you really don't have much to do with, or something like that. Or it might be a friend's spouse, or even a family member, So how do you deal with them? I would say that you can't generalize. And one thing usually is if you are able to pinpoint where the difficulty is, I'd probably try and fix things with them. If you have no choice, you're going to have to be with them. And worst to worst, I guess you end up having to sever a relationship. But there is not a clear-cut answer, even though some think there is. I don't think there is, actually. Question 3. What do you think is the wisest decision that you have ever made? Kind of goes against question number 1, actually. But I'll go further than that. I'll say, actually, I'll answer something different than question 1. But it would be to have married the lady I'm with now. Yes, Mrs. DC was my first girlfriend. Yeah. Okay, question 4. What is the biggest problem that you have encountered in life? Problem. Was it when I was trying to make up my mind for searching for a new job or something like that? Can't really think, actually, that it could have been, relational problems, I guess, led up to those things. Although sometimes of those situations that happen were more complicated than just a relational problem. Actually, I'm trying to think. In some cases, actually, there was departments that closed. There was actually, believe it or not, bosses that were put in their own training programs that they had to, believe it or not, I mean, this was part of the training, that you had to decide who of your personnel that you would fire and go through with it. Yeah, things like that. One of the biggest problems I've encountered in my life, well, I can think of one all of a sudden, but I've talked about it before. Being told basically that I had to choose between my family and my job if I wanted to be promoted. In a way, the decision was actually quite simple, but it was a problem because I really liked what I was doing. Yeah. Okay, we'll leave it there. Question 5. Do you seek the advice of others before making a decision? You know, these questions, they're often made in a way that you think that there's a black and white answer, but there aren't. I mean, it depends on which decision. If it's a big decision, yeah, I'll think about it. Depending on the decision, I'll probably go and, I mean, actually, for things that go on in my life, I like to pray about it. But I mean, you know, if it's a decision that's just a little thing, I can do things on my own, so to say. If it's a big one, I'll talk with my wife. We might talk even with friends, and we'll pray on it. Yeah. It's not a black and white thing, some of these questions. Excuse me. Question 6. Are you sensitive to other people's perceptions about you? You know, everybody likes to say, no, I'm not. And frankly, I admit I don't believe that. I think that we all are sensitive. It just depends what we make of it, you know. Most of us like to be liked. And sometimes we like to be liked by certain people. And then we realize that, you know, for certain people, we might not actually be of any real importance. Overall, you know, I like to be on the people's good side. But there are some people that, frankly, you know, no. I mean, like, another thing is I will not be, even if I felt like I'd like to be on somebody's good side, I will not, you know, throw away all my values for that. So I'm aware, and I like to be aware of other people's perception, because sometimes they talk to me and tell me that I should maybe think about the way I am. So in that sense, I might be sensitive if it has something to do with me. But, you know, if it's going to make me compromise, no. So again, I would say you have to be aware. Is it being aware sensitive? If it's that, yeah. So I try to be aware of what people perceive of me. It's important in a way. If I'm perceived as being an idiot when I'm not, or a bad person when I'm not, then probably I should be careful. Yeah. You see, I'm not actually answering the question in the way you want me to, but I'm answering the question that it speaks to me, the way that it speaks to me. Okay, question 7. If you can relive one event in your life, what would that be? That question comes a lot. Have you noticed? I don't know who writes these. I mean, I know that I guess Dave takes it out of some type of, I won't say a big data bank of questions, but that one comes back a lot. There's certain events I'd like to relive in my life. I think one of the ones, well, like I've said it many times, is holding my first child for the first time, holding the second one as well. But you know, you can't help it. There is a first, and yeah. Or that first real kiss. Yeah, there'd be events like that. Would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. That'll be it. Yeah, that's about it. I'm going to stop there anyway. I already see where I'm getting up to 10 minutes. Thanks a lot, Dave. It was fun. DC signing off. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.